to another video. And as always, if you are new to the channel, a sub would be really appreciated. And if you enjoy the content, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and let me know down in the comments below exactly what it is that you would like for me to cover in my next video. Today we're going to take a look at the NASDAQ 100 and look for the best possibility moving forward as well. Now, I've spoken about the NASDAQ 100 when the price was sitting at this level over here, and I explained all of the reasons for why we wanted to see the market go and fill in that wick over there as well, and that is exactly what the market did. So we are going to speak about the next possible move. Firstly, we're going to do a technical, fundamental, and order flow breakdown, starting with the technical monthly time frame. Now here on the monthly time frame, we can see how the market broken above this level of resistance, and once the resistance gets broken, we can expect the market to come back, test that level as support. So the downward momentum is quite expected on the NASDAQ 100 before we can start seeing any longing opportunities. Now on the weekly time frame, what do we have over here? Now on the weekly time frame, we can see how the market had printed this W formation. So by definition, when the market prints a W formation, you expect to pull back to the neckline before the market continue higher. However, if the neckline doesn't hold, you can expect the market to break below the neckline before continuing higher. And this is exactly what we saw over here. The market broke below the neckline, so there's definitely a short-term buy coming up before we can see the market continuing lower. Now here on the daily time frame, what do we have over here? Now on the daily time frame, we can see how the market had broken below this level of support, and once support gets broken, it becomes resistance, so we can expect the market to pull back before continuing lower. The market also gave us this massive impulse, so we expect a correction, and the best way to measure that correction is by taking off Fibonacci's from the low, from the high to the low. And we can see how the 61.8 aka the golden ratio is lining up perfectly with this previous level of support that got broken, that is now turned resistance. So we can expect the market from where it is now to pull back higher before continuing lower. Now looking at the order flow data, so the biggest banks, so the commitment of traders, so what the big banks, hedge funds and institutions are doing. Now we can see based off the last report, our hedge funds, they came in and they closed in more on their buy positions. Previous week they closed 13,000 longs, and then they came back last week and they closed another 2k longs, and then they actually added 8.5k short positions, selling positions. And we can see how the overall net positions had decreased from 25k now sitting at only 14k, and this is due to the panic that we are currently seeing now as we slowly see the increase in the COVID or the Omicron cases increasing in the United States. So in the short term, we can expect the NASDAQ to continue higher first before it goes any lower. And one thing that I need you guys to just keep in mind is that the reason why the market had fell so aggressively today was purely based off the fundamental data that got released. So not too long ago, I've sent a screenshot to you guys in the group to say that the US cases of the, in the United States, the Omicron cases, I think, had hit a record of, I think, over 400,000 cases. And as a result of that, these guys, the big guys, the speculators, is currently, they are starting to sow that fear as well. And reading here this article from NBC News that got released today, it shows here, and I actually want to say this with you guys. It shows here, it says here, excuse me. So you can see here, the United States has the United States reaches 1 million daily COVID cases in spread of Omicron variant. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if I need to remind you of what happened the last time we had this kind of news, this is what happened the last time we had such COVID cases for the United States. We saw this massive sell-off happening on the NASDAQ 100. So we can also see that is exactly what we can expect to happen here as well. But the market moves in waves, so we can expect the pullback first before the continuation. Also, the bank had upgraded Pfizer, so the guys that provide the injections for the for the COVID-19, so they kind of came in and they was like, what, we're actually going to give you guys some support there as well. However, at the end of the day, the reality is that the Omicron cases are going to start to spread the same way that it did back in the day with the COVID-19 as well. And we could see a massive sell-off coming on the NASDAQ 100. And we're going to see that develop as investors starting to realize, you know what, maybe things are not as it seems, and maybe it's just time to close. And trust me, you don't want to be a buyer in the stock market when when stuff starts to happen, just like you don't want to be a buyer in Coke when Warren Buffett decide to sell his shares as well. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I try to keep the video as short as possible. So without any further ado, guys, you can start looking for buying opportunities from where the market is now to that level. But as always, don't look to just buy the market, just go in there and just buy. You obviously need to wait for the market to show some sign of bullish momentum, because right now the market is quite bearish. You want to show the market, the market needs to start showing you some signs that we actually want to go up, because right now everything is just showing sells. But like I said, a pullback is expected from this level, but you obviously need to wait and follow the rules of your own strategy. And as always, guys, thank you so much for your time, and cheers for years.